How are you really? It's such an interesting question because whenever we get asked, how are you? We always say, good, how are you? Like, we don't want to burden anyone with the real ins and outs of how we are. And I'm actually feeling pretty good today. As you can see, I'm in the sun, so vitamin D is really good for me and for my mental health. But there have been lots of days during this quarantine recently and before that where I'm not doing okay and I have anxiety, or I have this part of me that comes out that feels the need to control my environment and control my parents and to control my boyfriend and to, make sure we're eating at the right time and make sure there's enough food, but it's not in like a sweet way. It's in like a neurotic way, in a way where, if someone's eating like the food that I bought, I will start to panic and I will overreact to things that aren't actually a big deal because I love to have control over my environment. Or if someone else is driving, like I will backseat drive the whole time because in my mind, like I do it the best way. And like, it's not good. And luckily I take all the right actions. I see my therapist still virtually, and everyone should, if they can afford to see therapists or get some sort of help. It's such an amazing thing. My mental health journey actually started when I was diagnosed with depression when I was around 23, and I had never gone to therapy or anything before that. And I decided to give it a try. I really didn't want to take any antidepressants or anything like that because I knew that my personality, I'd be like too dependent. So I just started seeing a therapist back then, and it was the best thing I could have ever done. And I wouldn't say my depression went away because it never really goes away, but it was definitely at bay for the times that, for that time. And then I decided I kind of had like a relapse of depression after a trip I took with my family where I was just like making things miserable for everyone, and I was heavily reliant on weed, which wasn't helping my depression. And I decided to start DBT therapy and eventually to stop smoking weed, and it truly changed my life. And my mind is just like such a better, safer place. I don't have any thoughts that are scary and negative. Obviously I'm not perfect. Like I have those moments, and like I'll feel bad about myself sometimes, or I will be really hard on people and have high standards for people in my life. And again, like the control issues will come out, but I've been lucky enough to have steered clear of being depressed since I quit weed and since I started my DBT, CBT therapy. So that's my mental health journey and my answer to how are you really? And I hope that this was helpful to someone. I would love to hear from you guys. How are you really? And I will nominate a few friends that I want to hear from. And just like, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, so spread the message that it's okay to not be okay. And it's okay to not say, I'm good, how are you, all the time, and to be real. So I hope this was helpful to someone today. And I hope you have a good Friday.